Okay, so the very first thing it asks us to do is to actually open up a new Word document. The next thing it tells us to do is go to that Home tab, and we are going to the Styles group, and that's this group right here, and we're going to choose the one that says no space. Okay, once we have done that, we are going to go to the page layout, which they just call layout now. We're going to go to this, and we are going to the group, the page setup group, and we're going to orientation because we want to take our paper and we want to flip it on its side. So we're going to change it to landscape. Alright, so the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to go to insert and find headers and footers. So we're going to go over here, and I believe this one actually asked me to do a header, and it wants that 3 columns. And with this one, we are going to go ahead and put our first name in. Okay, and we're going to put our block. Please make sure when you do the other one you are also paying attention because it asks for different information on that one. I am going to go ahead and name this file, and it tells us on down the page to name it calendar. And I'm going to go ahead and do underscore with my first initial and my last initial, and I'm going to put 6th since this is the block that I'm doing this with. And then I'm going to say save. Okay, so at this point, all we have to do is put in the file name. Now, if you'll remember from other lessons, when we put in the file name, all we had to do is come to Quick Parts, go to Field, and choose what? Choose file name, okay, and say OK. So it took the file name that I put in here and it transferred it to here. Now at this point I can't do anything else until I actually close this. So I either have to push the red X or I can double click in here, either one. Alright, the next thing, which we've already saved it as calendar, the next thing, number 7, says make sure that the margins are set to normal. So we are going to come back to layout, we're going to go to margins, and we're going to just make sure it's on normal. The next thing, we're going to type the month of March, okay, and the year. So we're going to go in here, we're going to go March 2022, and it tells us to select this, which we're going to do. And we're going to change it to Arial Black, which means we'll have to go back to the Home tab. And everything is in alphabetical order. You've got tons and tons of fonts, but we want the A's and we want the Arial Black on this one. We also want to turn it into a 14 point, and we want it centered, which means we're going to have to change our alignment here in the paragraph group to centered. And like I told you before, if you hover over anything, you can actually get it to give you a screen tip. Then we're going to change the color. Okay, and you can choose any color you wish. Okay, maybe I'll pick purple on this one. Alright, next I want to actually push or put my cursor or my insertion point after March 2022. Okay, and I'm going to press enter. Now the key to this and making it work correctly is going to be that you're going to have to change the font again, and you're going to have to change the points of the font, and also the alignment. So in this one we want to go to Arial, not Arial Black, but just plain Arial. And we want to make sure that it is left aligned, and we want to change those points from 14 to 12. There you go. Thank you. All right. Now, we're getting ready to insert a table. So we're going to come up here to insert. We're going to go right here to tables. We're going to click. Now, she showed you how to actually drag over the boxes and go 7. So you're going 7 columns by 6 rows. Okay. And if you look here in the very top of this you'll see a 7x6 table. You can do it that way. Or if you need something bigger than this, let's say that you need a 15 rows instead of 10, okay? You can come in right here where it says insert, click that, and you can put in the number of columns, which I need are 7, because I have 7 days of the week on this one. So my columns run from the top to the bottom, okay? My rows run horizontally, okay? Think of the sign. All right, so I need 6 rows, and I'm going to put that there, and then I'm just going to say okay. So either way works. All right, the next thing that we're asked to do, once we have got our table set, we're asked to go in and put the days of the week. All the days of the week are spelled correctly on your directions or in your directions. So make sure that you are typing them in correctly. I'm going to go ahead and put mine in, Sunday, and I'm going to use what to move to the next cell? Tab. Okay, so I'm going to type in Monday, Tuesday, tab, Wednesday, tab, Thursday, tab, Friday, tab, and Saturday. And like I said, you're just going to use the tab to move from one to the other. All right, so the next thing we're going to do, okay, the very next thing we're going to do, we're getting ready to look at the calendar for the next month. Now, it's really easy on your computer because down here in the corner, you have the date and the time. So all you have to do is just click that and it'll show you the calendar, okay? And you can see that March starts on a Tuesday. And while we're here, let's scroll on down and see how many days it has. March actually has 31 days, okay? So that's important for us to know. We don't stop before 31. All right, so Tuesday is our first day. It says in the next column, or in the appropriate column, you're going to type the number 1 in the second row, and then you're going to enter 4 times. Okay, so we're going to come here to this Tuesday, okay, and I'm going to put a 1, and then I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, then I'm going to go and put in a 2. And if I don't press 1, 2, 3, 4, I will not have the ability to just actually click in the box and type in the information that I need to type in. You're going to have to enter at some point, period. So here I'm going to go 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm going to go 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I can push tab, 5, enter 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I'll tab again and I'll say 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, and we just keep going. Okay, and if you want to check to make sure how many times you actually entered, you can go back home, and there is a tool here that says show or hide the symbols, the paragraph symbols. And so what this does is going to show you the paragraph marks where you've entered, and if you've spaced, it's going to put a little period in the air so that you know that you've actually put a space there. Now, so I'm going to click the sign, and I can see how many times I actually entered, okay, and so forth. So I made sure that all of mine actually had the number in there. This last box I entered too many times, and I cannot get it off of there. Maybe if I do this, I can get it off. There it goes. I entered too many times on that last one. So did you see how this right here, if I didn't have this turned on, I don't know which box it is that I did not format correctly. So if I turn this on, then I can see I put too many on that one, and I can delete it, and the box fixes itself. Any questions? All right, the next thing, we've got all of our dates, our numbers in. Our next thing that we're going to do is we're going to add these particular dates that are on your directions. And then if you have something else you want to add, like your birthday, your mom's birthday, if you have somebody that has a birthday in those months, or in that month, you are more than welcome to do that. So I'm going to turn this off now that I've got everything fixed. And I'm going to come in to March the 1st. And I'm just going to click up under one. I'm not going to put it in line with one. I'm going to click under it. And I'm going to put Mardi. Oops, I have my cap lock on. Mardi Gras / Fat Tuesday. Now, if you noticed when I did that, it went down a spot. So all I'm going to do is press delete so that it fixes that. All right, the next one I've got to put in, right here, I'm going to add in math case assessment. Okay, then on the 8th, I'm going to click right up under there, and I'm going to put ELA case assessment, and you notice it just moved it down again. We're going to fix that in just a minute. And writing prompt. Okay, and if you see it, it's pushing it down. So all I got to do is go back and go delete, delete, so that my boxes are all the same. This one looks like it's still too big. So let me cut this back on and see what I got here. Okay, so that's what's wrong with this one. That's why it's too big. All right, next. The next thing I've got is spring break. Now, I can click here, and I'm going to type in spring. Well, I'm going to type in spring if I get my fingers in the right place. Okay, I'm going to type in spring break. Then I'm going to actually go in, and I'm going to select it. I'm going to right click, I'm going to copy, and in the same place up under each of those days, and again, it just moved it down, so I'm just going to move it back up. Moved it down again. Let me move it back up. Move it back up. And move it back up. All right, so I added spring break on those 5 days. The only thing I lack putting on that is on the 14th, it is known as National Potato Chip Day. Okay, and it moved it down again, so I'm going to just move it back up. All right, so once I've gotten that done, I'm going to add one more, and that's National Crayon Day on the 31st. All right, and that one's in there. That one's fine. So, like it says, if the holiday goes on to another line, a second line, press the delete key to maintain the cell size. You want the cells to be all the same size. All right, the next thing we're going to do is, if you notice when we're in the table, we have 2 additional tabs open up. We have a tab design and a tab layout. And the tab layout is where we could draw additional tables, we could erase things, we could delete stuff, we could split cells, we could split a table, we can merge, we can do all kinds of stuff. We can actually even tell it what direction we want the text to go in. All right, we're not going to mess with that one. We are going to mess with this one though. And if you go to table design and you look across here, you can actually choose a design for your calendar. Now, some of them are not good for the type of information we have, like this one. This one is not good because look at the way that it has set up Sunday. I would not use that. Do not use that. Okay? But if you push this arrow right here, you will get all the styles that they offer. And you can come down through here and you can look. Like this list tables, these are usually pretty good. But again, I would like to pick one that actually shows, maybe not list table, how about grid tables? Because grids, that will keep all your lines. If you'll notice, if you do this one, it starts getting kind of jumbled up looking. Okay, everything starts spilling over, it looks like. So I'm going to back out of that one, and I'm going to go more with a grid. Okay, and you can pick whatever grid you like. There are some that actually shade every other row, and I'm going to pick that for mine. The next thing, once you've actually done that, make sure that you have saved, or make sure that your project is still saved, and make sure that you are ready to put it into Canvas. And that's all you have to do for that.